Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a quick Van Cleef and Arpels unboxing. It's kind of like the last of my birthday gifts to myself this year. If you guys want to see the rest of the birthday unboxings, I'll leave that video linked up here for you guys. But basically what happened was this item from Van Cleef and Arpels, I had no idea that it was going to arrive before my birthday. What happened was towards the end of May, I had placed a deposit down for this item and my sales associate told me it would take up to 6 months before it arrived. So I thought, okay, great, it will arrive before Christmas hopefully. But I was very surprised that maybe a week and a half afterwards, she texted me and said that it was here. So I went to see it in person. I totally loved it. It was like love at first sight. And yeah, I just paid for it and sent it in for adjustments. And I didn't get it back in time when I filmed my birthday unboxing video. And I was just too excited to film that video and just be able to finally wear everything. So I decided I would just leave this to when I finally received it after the alterations and adjustments and everything. So it's finally back and I just wanted to show this to you guys. And what I'm going to do after the unboxing is I'm actually going to do a few comparisons for you guys between this and some other Van Cleef and Arpels pieces that I have. I think the comparisons will be useful. So what happened was maybe this was back in March or so. I was at a different Van Cleef and Arpels location. I was at the one that I typically go to that is, in some ways, it's closer to me than the New York City location, not by distance, but just by convenience. So the one that I usually go to, it's a much smaller store and they don't get as much stock. So I had inquired about this piece and my sales associate there was like, I have not seen this come in since it got released last year. So I was like, okay, well, just put me down on the list and if it ever comes in, then let me know. But yeah, I don't know, I was thinking maybe I should try the New York location because they do get way more stock. And when I was there in May, I had taken some pieces in for adjustments, some other pieces that were part of my birthday unboxings. I had basically scheduled a shopping appointment too with a sales associate that I had never worked with before. And I asked her about this item and she was like, yeah, you can put down a deposit on it. And I was so surprised because there are certain things at Van Cleef and Arpels that you can't put a deposit on anymore because it's just so backlogged, all the customers that they have to satisfy the demand for first. So I was very surprised that I could place a deposit down on this. So yeah, that's what I did. And the rest of the story, I already told you guys. So the item is this pair of earrings. So this is the Lucky Spring plum blossom earrings. Basically, it's this pair of floral earrings and they're in rose gold. So I feel like most Van Cleef and Arpels pieces that are in mother of pearl, they're actually in yellow gold. So this one's very unique because it is in rose gold instead. And they look so pretty as is just sitting in the box, but they look so much better on your ears because I don't know, I just think it is so feminine and I like that it kind of hangs a little bit lower than your earlobes. So, I mean, it's not like a dangling pair of earrings, but it's just big enough that it sits a little bit lower on your ear. And yeah, I love how that looks. And as I mentioned before, I did get some adjustments done to these earrings. So one of the two things that I did was I had them make the post thinner. The normal posts that are on these earrings, as well as another pair that I recently got from Van Cleef and Arpels, it's a little bit too thick. So it's a little bit hard to fit them into my piercings. So I asked them to make it thinner. And the other thing is I had them solder, I think that's how you say the word, I had them solder the post into the earring itself because the way that it's designed is that you can potentially wear it as a pair of clip-on earrings. I don't think it's recommended, but it is possible to do that. So you can unscrew the post and I basically didn't want to have the risk of potentially losing these earrings just because the post got unscrewed. So I asked them to basically fuse the metal on the post to the earring. And yeah, I think I will be much less nervous wearing them, knowing that, you know, it's going to stay on my ear. I don't think I've ever lost a pair of earrings before. Actually, no, that's not true. I lost one out of a pair of earrings back in like elementary school. I didn't want to run the risk of this one. I just had them do it. But I think just like a little bit of information if you're thinking of doing something like that too, to like a pair of these earrings you have or are thinking of buying, just make sure that you're certain you like how this sits on your ear, because on the back of these, there's actually two little slots for the post to fit into. So you can either choose the lower of the two settings, which means that the earrings will sit higher up on your ear, and then the upper of the two settings would mean this sits lower on your ear. So just make sure that you like how it looks on your ear before you do something that is permanent like that. So yeah, just a little bit of information for you guys. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to do a few comparisons for you guys. So I wanted to show you guys how the size of the motifs on these plum blossom earrings look like compared to the vintage Alhambra motifs on my 5 motif bracelet. So they do look very similar in size. There's not much of a difference, but I do think that these plum blossom motifs are just a tiny bit smaller, just because it is like a 5-petal design instead of like 4 petals on the clover design. So, you know, from like the top of one petal to kind of like this dip in between 2 petals is a little bit smaller than, you know, like from one point to the opposite point on the vintage Alhambra motifs. Not a big difference, but I wanted to show you guys the difference anyways. And the other comparison I wanted to do for you guys was between the mother of pearl with rose gold, which is what the earrings are, and then the mother of pearl on yellow gold, which is here on my sweet Alhambra pendant necklace. So as you can see, the colors on the gold is not that different. I feel like the rose gold actually darkens the mother of pearl just a slight bit. Of course, there is always going to be a sheen on mother of pearl, so when it reflects the light, it will look much brighter and kind of like shinier. But overall, when it doesn't hit the light, I feel like it is just a slight bit darker with the rose gold around it. Of course, that might also just be variation on the mother of pearl itself. Those are the differences I see, and I hope these comparisons were helpful for you guys. So that is it for this Van Cleef & Arpels unboxing, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Do let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think of these earrings that I picked up, and also what do you guys think of the Lucky Spring collection in general. One thing that I love about Van Cleef & Arpels is that they do have this kind of like whimsical element to their jewelry. It's not like childish, but it does have this whimsical kind of like youngish quality to it, but in like the best way possible. And one thing that I learned from my sales associate is that plum blossoms bloom like towards the end of winter, so it kind of signals the beginning of spring, which is like the perfect thing for a collection called Lucky Spring. Anyways, I'm rambling. I really love these earrings. But anyways, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do consider subscribing for new videos every single week on luxury and fashion, and I'll leave 2 videos on the screen for you guys to watch next. So I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.